Hello everyone. Today I wanted to take some time and highlight the strong divide between military slang terms and regular slang you would hear in the outside world. There is one term in particular that stands out in the military world called Blue Falcon. When hearing the term Blue Falcon, one might have a whole bunch of different ideas as to what it may mean. The origin of the term Blue Falcon, according to Urban Dictionary, is military slang that was originated in the United States Marine Corps. The term was created as a code for a buddy fucker. A buddy fucker denotes a Marine as untrustworthy. The assumption being that this is the kind of soldier that would put his own needs ahead of the needs of his platoon or brothers in arms. Some examples that Urban Dictionary uses are as follows. I hear the weekend pass has been revoked because Private James fell asleep at his post. Great having a Blue Falcon in the platoon. Number 2. I don't like having private sessions behind me on patrols. Always get the feeling that the Blue Falcon is going to pull a Dexter, get me in the neck with a syringe, and push my shit in. Now these are just some of the examples used by Urban Dictionary, but we're going to take a look at some of the historical figures and prominent figures of history that may be considered a Blue Falcon. First one is Benedict Arnold. Major General Benedict Arnold was by all accounts an outstanding general for most of his time in American service. He won a bloodless victory at Fort Ticonderoga, got France to openly support the Americans through his victory at the Battle of Saratoga, and even won a decisive naval battle. Through all this, he endured multiple wounds for his country. The whole time, he was being passed over for promotion by his peers. Also, while Arnold was clinging to his life in a New York hospital bed, his boss claimed credit for a surrender that belonged to Arnold. When Arnold complained to Congress that veterans and their families were being fairly mistreated, he was brought up on charges. A court-martial acquitted him of most, but he was found guilty of 2 counts of dereliction of duty. Of course, Arnold's response to his treatment set the bar for most Blue Falcons, and he set it high. Arnold continued correspondence with his friend George Washington, leveraging him for appointments and preferential treatment. Meanwhile, Arnold was preparing to hand as much as he could to the enemy through British Major General John Andre. Washington gave Arnold command of his forces at West Point, which was a key and strategic defense of New York. Arnold promptly tried to sell the fort to Andre for about $3 million, but the plot was discovered. Washington was personally embarrassed, and the army was shaken by the turning of a key general, and much of Arnold's history was erased from U.S. records. Still, Arnold did get away and joined the British Army as a general. Now, as we look into a more modern figure of what a Blue Falcon is, Bo Bergdahl may be more recognizable in today's news. Bo Bergdahl, the exact nature of what happened in the desert will probably be never known to anybody but Bergdahl himself. But even if Bergdahl did just walk away from the war and didn't give any information to the Taliban after his capture, he was still a Blue Falcon in the eyes of his fellow soldiers. His departure caused his unit to have to go on increased patrols and missions that soldiers have died on. Every operation that after that had to include the additional objective of see if you can find Bergdahl. No matter what the primary objective was, resources needed in other fights were sent to that patch of the desert to comb and search for Bergdahl. Now we're going to look at some of the famous publications and notorious publications that include different examples of Blue Falcons. Terminal Lance is a highly publicized and well-known comic strip highlighting various forms of military humor. Terminal Lance heavily satires everyday military life and explains some of the slang words used among service members through illustrated examples. Here in comic number 298, Bird of Prey, Terminal Lance gives an illustrated example with a dialogue to highlight an effective Blue Falcon scene. Cacaw. Poop. Shoom. Hey Abe, I know your girlfriend is flying out this weekend, but I volunteered you for duty so I wouldn't be bored. Don't worry, I gave her number to Sanchez and Stevens. They said they'd show her around. The illustrated example of showing the Blue Falcon pooping on the Marine's shoulder illustrates of what a Blue Falcon is and how he was screwed over by his own buddy when his girlfriend was knowingly coming into town. Here are some other real and everyday examples of what a Blue Falcon can do, essentially to screw over his buddies.